Content libraries are a really great feature that allows us to share our templates with other vCenter servers. In addition to that, it also gives us the ability to do in-place updates of our templates, which is a new feature that we're including in vSphere 7 around content libraries. So let's have a look. So content libraries are central stores for your templates, for your OVF files, for your ISO images, for other scripts as well. By creating a central store, we're able to have a single location from which to deploy new virtual machines in our own environment, but also we have a single location to be able to standardize our templates across wider environments. Should you have multiple vCenters in your environment, should you have multiple remote data centers and the like, you can use content libraries to really gain good control over the way that your templates and the way that your virtual machines are configured. It's a really important goal for us to be able to standardize those images so that we know that we have some consistency across the deployments of our virtual machines. And content libraries are an excellent way for us to do this. Okay? We are able, in this case, to store our templates. We can version them. We can share that content. We can distribute those templates through file management services that are embedded into content libraries. We can take those content libraries and synchronize them across multiple sites, across vCenter instances, and we even have some features where if transfers, for example, I want to share a template from California data center to a New York data center, and it's a very large template. And if the data transfer, if the file transfer gets cut off, we can even resume that file transfer. So it's a really nice way for us to share updates to templates and to syndicate our templates throughout a larger environment. We're also able to store our ISO images in content libraries, and then from within a content library, we can mount an ISO image directly to a virtual machine. So that's a nice way also of being able to utilize our ISO images that we can use to install guest operating systems or install other software and the like. And now in vSphere 7, we can now perform live updates of templates. When you build a content library, and you saw in the previous slide where content libraries are available from the menu at the top or the home screen in vCenter, you're going to create a content library. And there's 3 types of content libraries that you can create. You can create a local content library that is available only within a single vCenter server. But then you can simply hit a little checkbox that says, I want to publish this local content library. At that point, you'll be given a URL. That URL you can share with another vSphere administrator who can then create a subscribed content library. That subscribing content library will talk to the original published content library and get a list of templates and ISO images and OVF files and things like that that it can then synchronize. Initially, we get metadata only. Hey, here's the list of items, here's the version of the templates, here's a little something about them. And then we can choose whether or not we want to actually grab the entire template, or we can wait till we're ready to deploy the first one and grab it then. We need to start with a content library by creating a local content library, whether we decide to publish it or not. And we need to begin to populate that content library with templates. Now, there are a couple of ways to do this, but essentially, we take an existing template or an existing VM, we right-click on it, and we clone that template or VM into that content library. Okay? We can either take a VM like we have over here and clone it as a template in a library, or take a template and simply clone that template into the library itself. At this point, the content library begins to become populated with templates that we can then deploy new VMs from or share with other subscribing content libraries. Once a VM is in a content library, we can then go to the content library right from the home page of vCenter of your vSphere client, or we can find it from the menu here, and we can see the list of content, list of templates or OVF and OVA templates here, and simply select build a new VM from that template. We can also update the template here, which will deploy a new template that allows us to update it and then commit those updates back to the content library if we want. We can export an item, we can clone an item within a content library, and so on. Lots of really great features here in the content libraries in vSphere 7. Let's actually dive in and play with it a little bit. In lab number 17, we'll build a content library, we'll clone a VM to a template in the content library, and then we'll deploy a new VM from that particular template. If you're also interested, you can decide whether or not you want to play with the functions of updating a template in the content library. I encourage you to experiment here. I hope you enjoy this lab, and when we come back, we'll look at all of the new features that we have around modifying a virtual machine. So that's our story on templates. Okay, we'll see you real soon for lesson number 3, modifying virtual machines.